My dear Christian, I will talk in a very, very important topic. Watching this video and achieving what I will see now is very, very important. Watching this video and achieving what I will say now is a matter of life or death. For that, I want you to hear me very well. Hear me with your heart. Don't hear me with your ears. I'm sure if you hear me with your heart, my talking will penetrate your heart, because most of Christians are not arrogant, are not proud. If they know the correct way, they walk in the correct way. If they hear the correct advice, they follow the correct advice. I will talk about very great and incredible scientific miracles in the whole Quran and Sunnah, and also I will make very important spots about very important points in your books. Hear me for your benefits for 6 or 7 minutes. The God said in Surah Al-Dhariyat in chapter number 27 in verse number 47, and we constructed the heaven with strength and indeed, and we will keep expanding. The God said that, and we constructed the heaven with strength and indeed, and we will keep expanding. Which means that God said that He constructed the heaven with strength and He will keep expanding the heaven. The recent science proved that the heaven expands with a very high velocity, which it reaches 30,000 light years every 1 second, because there are 275 million stars are created or born every day. For that, the heaven has to be expanded to accommodate these huge numbers of stars. And if the heaven doesn't expand, the university will be burst. How the Prophet Muhammad knew this very important fact from more than 1,400 years, and he was an illiterate man, can read and can write. How he knew that the heaven expands with a very high. Did he say that? Did he say that from himself, or the God teach him and told him that? Impossible. In the opposite side, you said in your books that the God created the 7 heavens and 7 grounds in 6 days, and then he got very tired. For that, he gave himself a rest, a break at Saturday. Is that logic? Is that reasonable to insult the Holy God who has unlimited power, to say about him that he got very tired after saying? But this is your book, which you don't know who wrote it. Another very great miracle in our books. The Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith, if the fly fall in the vessel, dip all of it and then remove it, that one of its wings is a disease and the other is a treatment. The recent science proved that one of the wings of the fly contains antibiotics. For that, the Prophet Muhammad ordered us, if the fly falls in the vessel, to dip all of it. When you dip all of it, it will drop these antibiotics from the second wing, and it will kill the microbes which fall from the first wing, and it will pure and clean the vessel. Dip all of it and then remove it. There are among the great study in USA and Australia proved this very great fact, and for the level that now they produce antibiotics from the body of the fly for the treatment of many diseases. How the Prophet Muhammad knew that, and he said that before the recent science discovered that from more than 1,400 years, very great miracle which pushes hundreds of Christians to convert to Islam. In the opposite side, you said about the great Prophet Dawood that he, while he was standing in the window of his house, he saw a very beautiful woman taking a shower. She was naked, without clothes. He loved her, and once she saw him, she covered her body with her hair. He make a legal relationship with her. She was the wife of his big leader Uriah. He betrayed his big leader Uriah, and he made the big sin, adultery with her, with the married woman, and he put Uriah in a specific place in the army, and he knows that he will be killed, to make him die and to put his hand on his wife, and then he married. Is that logic to insult the great Prophet Dawood and said about him that he betrayed his big leader and with his wife, and he killed him and put him in a specific place to get rid from him? Is that logic? Is that reasonable? And he insulted the son of the Dawood. He said that the son of the great Prophet Dawood loved his sister because she was very beautiful, and he said to her that he want to make sex with her. She said to him, how much you will pay to me? And he paid to her, and he make the big sin, adultery with his sister. The brother makes sex with his sister. The son of Dawood, the great Prophet Dawood, makes sex with his sister. And when the great Prophet Dawood knew that, he got very angry, but he doesn't punish his son because he was loving him, and he knows that he will inherit the prophecy from him. Is that logic? Is that reasonable to insult the great Prophet Dawood and his son? Another very great miracle in our books. The Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith, every human being is created about 360 joints, and he has to offer every day a charity or donation for every joint. His friends said to him, it is too hard to make that. He said to them, if you pray 2 rakats in the early morning, it will be equivalent for all that. The reason science proves that every one of us is created about 360 joined, like Muhammad said, from more than 1,500 trees. How he knew that? Very great miracle. He was an illiterate man. In the opposite side, you said about the great prophet Lot, that he drink wine and he got drunk and he made the big sin, adultery with his daughters, and he made his daughters pregnant from him. Is that logic? Is that logic? To insult the great prophet Lot, who the God chose him to be a prophet to teach the people that he make the big sin, adultery with his daughters, and make them pregnant. In the other, our very great miracle in our book, the God said in Surah Al-Najm, in chapter number 27, in verse number 45 and 46, and he created the 2 mates, the male and the female, from a sperm drop when it is emitted. Which means that the God said that he created the 2 types, the male and the female, from the sperm of the man. The recent science proved that the sperm of the man controls the type of, and there is no relationship between the egg of the woman and the type of fetus. Very, very great miracle. But the Holy Quran says that it was well known until a few years that the egg of the woman controls the type of fetus. Until the recent science proved the sincerity and the honesty and the greatness of the Holy Quran, and proves that the sperm of the man controls the type of fetus. There are two types of sperms, feminine sperm and male sperm. If the feminine sperm fertilizes the egg, the fetus will be female, and if the male sperm fertilizes, the fetus will be male. How the Prophet Muhammad knew that? Very great miracle. In the opposite side, you said in your books that the God settled down from the sky and he walked in the ground, and then he meet the great prophet Yaqub. The great prophet Yaqub said to him, can you fight me? The God said to him, yes, I can fight you. They fight each other, and the great prophet Yaqub beated the God, and after he beated him, he held him from his clothes and he said to him, I will not leave you climb in the sky unless you called me Israel. He said to him, okay, you are Israel. Is that logic? The weak human being, although he is a prophet, beated the holy God, the big Lord God who has unlimited power. What's crazy? You said, but this is your book. Another very great miracle in our book. The God said in Surah Al-An'am, in chapter number 8, in verse number 125, who wants to guide him to Islam, he expands his chest or his breast to contain Islam, and whoever Allah wants to misguide him, he makes his chest or breast tightened and constricted as he is climbing in the sky. This is an example for the people who don't want to believe, who don't want to convert to Islam. This is an example, which means that God give an example for the people who don't want to convert to Islam. They are like the people who are climbing in the sky, and they will feel suffocated, and they will feel that they will feel suffocated. And the recent science proved that the percentage of oxygen decreases in the upper layers of the sky, as the Holy Quran said, from more than 1,500. How the Prophet Muhammad knew? Very, very great miracle. The Holy Quran said that the percentage of oxygen decreases in the upper layers of the sky from more than 1,500 degrees. In the opposite side, you said in your books, after the very great, very big, the period of the great prophet Noah, the God got very angry, very sad, and he cried, and he has a pimple in his eyes. For that, the angels went to visit him, because the God was sick in his eyes, and he has a pimple in his eyes. Is that logic? To say that God was sick? But this is your book. Another very great miracle in our book. The non-believers said to the Prophet Muhammad, if you're really a prophet from God, split this moon for us into 2 parts, and we will believe you and support you. He said to them, can you give me a charter, a strong promise about that? They said, okay, we give you a promise. He prayed to God, and the moon has split it into 2 parts. But they said to him, you charmed us with magic. This is magic. He said to them, I achieved what you want. Which you want? Why now you broke your promises with me? They said, no, it is a magic. They said, okay, there are messengers will come after 2 days. We can ask them which he saw. This means that it is not a magic. They said, okay, because you know that the magic affect only the people in front of you, but doesn't affect the people far away, about 100 kilometers. The messengers came after 2 days and they said, we saw a very strange thing. We saw that the moon has split it into 2 parts and was astonished what is the matter. But the non-believers said to him, no, no, no. Your magic is very strong. It goes for all way. For that the cattle settled down in Surah Al-Qamar in chapter number 27 in verse number 1 and 2. The last day has been soon and the moon has split it. And if they saw a great miracle, they don't believe. And they said it is a strong magic. This is always the character of the non-believers. They ask for a strong miracle, although they know that this man is a prophet, and then they broke their promises because they are liars and arrogant. And I hope you are not like these people. When the instruments dropped on the surface of the moon, they found a very long crack dividing the moon. The length of this crack is 125 kilometers, and the width of this crack is 1,500 meters, and the depth of this crack is 500 meters. They was astonished because they never saw a huge crack like this in the ground. They make studies about this crack. They found that this crack impossible to come as a result of earthquake or volcano or any other thing. And one of the scholars of NASA agency said that our studies proved that the moon, the scholar said, our studies proved that the moon has broken in the past and then it sealed another time, which proves without any doubt that the God has spirited the moon for his prophet from more than 1,400 years, as the Holy Quran said. Very great miracle. Another very great miracle. A scholar, big scholar, non-Muslim Japanese scholar called Masaru Emoto make a great book called Message from Water about the incredible effect of reciting the Holy Quran on the water. He found many strange things. He found that the reciting Quran on it, and it made very beautiful structures, geometric structures. Like he took images for these structures and he put them in his book. And he make studies about the benefits and the structure of the water. He found that the benefits of the water, it changed to be better and better in the treatment of many diseases after reciting the Quran on it. And he wrote all that in his book, Message from Water. And I will put the link of this book under the, and I will put the link also of the video under this. I will put under the video 9 great miracles provided with links to prove what I have said. After that, what do you want? Until now, you don't believe that this Quran is not from God. If you don't believe, if you don't want to believe until now, I'm sorry to say to you that you are arrogant. Because if I told you these miracles is a drop in a big sea from hundreds and hundreds of great miracles in the Holy Quran and Sunnah, which pushes hundreds of Christians to convert to Islam every day. 50,000 Christians convert to Islam every 1 year in Egypt, and 5 Christians every 1 hour converted to Islam in USA because of these miracles. These miracles, if you don't want to believe until now, this means that you are arrogant. Because if I told you to look at the sun in the sky and you told me that you don't see anything, this means that you are arrogant and blinded. You have to know that the strength and the greatness of the miracles in the Quran is stronger than the light of the sun in the sky. You have to know that the Quran, which contains all these miracles, said in Surah Ali Imran in chapter number 3 in verse number 85, any person will accept any religion will not be acceptable from him in the last day, and will be from the big loser in the last day. And the Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith, I swear with whom my soul is in his hand, any person hear about me, Jewish or Christian or any another religion, and don't believe me and don't believe the religion I came with, he will be one of the hell people. You will be one of the fire people if you don't convert to Islam. I made this video because I care about you. I afraid about you. I don't want you to fall in fire. You will fall in fire and you will never come out of it. Don't destroy yourself. Don't lose the paradise. You will bite your fingers on the last day and you will cry, but you will not cry with tears. You